8 months ago, we became roommates, a single mom of 2 and a tetraplegic, and it's been a ride. Literally.
WheelLife605's Roommate Realities.
It's probably a good thing I can't see the
Welcome
video.
to WheelLife605 Roommate Realities. Episode 2.
Episode 2. We're talking about our roommate agreement because we had one of those. Do you remember that we had one of those?
Oh yeah, I remember. We spent some time.
We
put it on a Google.
you
Google
set
sheet.
up a whole Google sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I work better with like spreadsheets, like Excel documents and Google Sheets, because I can organize it better.
Mm-hmm. I've learned this real quick. Actually, our meal plan now has a spreadsheet. So
there you go. It works for me, and then we have different tabs that we can just copy the tabs over. But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
We are. Yep, I agree.
Okay.
So what's funny about this is that we created this whole. It was actually like last year, this month, that I called you, and I was like, "We're both LOT people. What do you want the culture of our house? Do you feel like? What do you want the vibes of our house to be like?" And your response. Do you remember your response?
Nope.
Your response was chill and friendly, and I'm like, I mean, same, but what's your version of chill and friendly?
Right. How are we defining?
Yeah. And eventually that text thread turned into a very long phone conversation, discussion of roommate situations we've been in and how living with other people has gone, just like our experiences with living with other people. And then we went down a whole thing like, I want this to be like this and I want that to be like that, or this is how I envision this going.
Well, before this, I'd lived with, like, college, I was in a fraternity. I had a bunch of dudes around the house, and we had house chores, but nobody really did the house chores because we're in college. We're in our 20s.
Right.
And then I lived with another buddy of mine, a college bro, I suppose, and him and I generally got along, but he never really did any dishes or, like, clean the house because he was never really home. He was always just kind of wandering around or doing something, or he'd always go out to eat. Like, he was always buying and eating fast food. He didn't, like, cook at home, so didn't have to worry about that. I just took care of my dishes and my cleaning because it was, my part of the apartment. And then I lived with him for a few years, and then I lived with, like, family. So I'd lived with my brother at one point in time and all these kinds of things. But, I mean, when you're with family, there's family rules are already set up. So this was a whole new spiel, I think, of, like, let's be roomies.
Yeah, where my experience with roommates, the only people that I've lived with have been significant others. So that, I think, creates a different dynamic in general. And going into a roommate situation, I was like, I have no idea what to expect. I didn't live the traditional college life. So I wasn't in a dorm room with anybody. I either lived by myself or with a significant other. I've never had like a roommate situation. So I was like, maybe we should have some rules.
Oh, yeah.
Or like, maybe we should have a discussion about this. I've also lived with family too. Like after my divorce, I lived with my brother for a while, and that was a different situation and whatever. So like you said, they already have their house rules figured out, and you put yourself in it. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because when I lived with my brother, he was like a neat freak. He was like OCD-ish, right?
Yeah.
Like if I left the George Foreman grill still dirty after making a burger at 5 and it was like 6:30 and he came home, he ran over my George Foreman grill. Literally? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Threw it or he either ran it over or he like slammed it down on the garage floor, the concrete garage.
It just broke it?
It broke it.
Jesus.
It just broke my George Foreman. Which I think was like a Christmas gift. Somebody like gave me the George Foreman.
So it was like yours. Like it wasn't even his.
It was my George Foreman.
Dang.
He just broke it. He didn't care.
Dang.
But now he's got kids, so now his house is chaos. Karma.
Right? No kidding. So
we put together this roommate agreement.
Yep.
Our T
TNC.
TNC.
Terms and conditions.
Terms and conditions.
I remember that much, and I remember we created it April of last year, so like completely before we moved in, because I moved into these apartments in May, and then you didn't move in until July. I didn't look at the document. I didn't look at the things that we put in there, but I did look at the, I don't know what you call them, like the little details of like when the document was last edited and looked at and whatever. We last looked at it and edited it the day you moved in. And we haven't touched it since.
Perfect.
So this will be, your phone's over there. I was going to tell you to take out your phone.
We're recording with my phone.
Just kidding. We'll have to take out my phone.
Well, you have all the notes on your phone and the scripts.
Everything is on my phone.
Yeah. Plus, I did tell you that. I said we'll be recording with my phone.
Mentally, you told me this.
Are you still nervous?
When you point things out like that, yeah, that makes it worse. All right, here we go.
I just got to poke, you know.
All the time. Are you ready for this?
I am. Let's see this.
Okay, so we're gonna look at each category, and then this is.
Can you hold it up to the camera so people can get a rough idea of what it looks like?
Oh my goodness, it's intense, guys. It's like, I don't know. Can you see what I'm?
That's good enough.
Yeah. Okay, so there's categories, and then we're like, so we have a section of what I think how things should go, and then how you think things should go.
Fair. Oh yeah. I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah.
We like Shelby's terms and conditions and Ty's terms and conditions.
So that way, if we had to compromise, we could be like, all right.
Yep. So are you ready for this?
Yes.
We're gonna go back and forth and decide if, or like talk about if it's something we like, we nailed it. Like, yes, we still do this, or like we haven't done this at all, or like this completely changed. We had very unrealistic expectations.
Let's find out.
All right. So the first category is dishes.
Dishes.
I knew you'd have fun with this one.
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
What do you think your TNC was?
That my dishwasher not be broken when grandma comes over.
Do you want to tell the listeners what your grandma said?
Sure, I'd love to tell the story.
That
one of the first, within the first week, 2 weeks that I was home, my grandma came over, and while she was here, she saw that there was maybe 5-6 dishes in the sink, like not a whole lot of them.
It was like one meal between you and I worth of dishes.
Yeah, and then she made the comment of, "Is your dishwasher broken?" And I was like, "Well, no, it works fine." Because I honestly didn't know what she was getting at. I just instantly answered like, "Oh no, I think it works fine. It's right here." And then she pointed out, she's like, "Well, you got some dishes stacking up here. You can just put them in the dishwasher." And I was just like, "Okay, Grandma, yep." And because of the TNC and because of what Shelby is going to talk about on her end of it, I decided to tell her that right away. And so you'll hear why it was funny.
This continues
Shelby.
to be that was like you said the first week, and this continues to be a running joke.
Oh yeah, it's a good joke.
It is. Yeah. I mean,
just because you're not doing dishes, Shelby. Okay, so why was the dishes important to you? Do you want to do your side first?
Sure.
Yeah. I told my joke already.
You did. Yeah. So I said by the end of the day, no dishes to be cleaned.
Oh, wow. By the end of the day, no dishes to be cleaned?
That's what I said.
Oh, my goodness.
I know, right?
You fell off the boat on that one.
Clearly. And
I helped.
I did say no scattered dishes, which I think we do fine with.
Yeah,
anyways.
that's true, yeah. No scattered dishes.
Yeah. And then you said dishes in the sink and cleaned at max every other day. Rinse and dishwasher. Soaking is okay.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Yeah, because sometimes you got to soak, like when you make the rice and the rice gets all stuck
at the
and
bottom.
you got to soak it.
That's fair.
So, see, now the references make sense. It's like the sticky rice at the bottom.
Yeah, yep.
And then, yeah, dishes every other day, but when it's just me and you, it's not a whole hell of a lot of dishes. But when your kids are here, it's like that increases by a lot.
A lot. Yeah, I would agree. The next one is vacuuming.
Wait, do you get to explain why dishes was such a sensitive topic?
Multiple people that I've lived with have been very particular about the dishes being done.
Yeah.
And so it's been lack of a better word, a trigger for me.
So of course I have to give her shit whenever I can. That's my goal.
That's been your MO.
Poke.
This entire
Just poke.
almost year.
Poke. It's pretty funny. I like it.
I'm also impressed with like the list that we came up with all the different things that we had expectations for.
I mean, are we gonna go through the whole list?
We have to.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
all right.
some of them we could probably like put together, but like
Okay. Fair. Go ahead.
okay, like vacuuming.
All right.
I have one word.
I just want to come back to the dishes though, real quick before we go too far. We have both dropped the ball on that pretty bad.
We have.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyway, vacuuming.
Vacuuming. I put weekly, and you put every other day, shared spaces, minimum, dog dependent. Ooh, this is when I.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I still had my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I put it, because it was the dog hair that would kick up my allergies.
Right.
And you've seen my lung strength.
Your coughs are so weak.
I know.
They're so sad.
So imagine if there was a bunch of dog hair.
Oh my gosh.
It'd be wild. It'd be SOL.
And then you said, yeah, non-shared spaces weekly if no doggo.
If no, yeah.
So, okay.
So then it was weekly. We were on the same page.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Do you think we've held up to this?
No. No. Well, we have 3 broken vacuums in the garage right now. No, one's a shampooer. Sorry, the carpet.
2 of them.
2 of them are carpet shampoo.
No, 2 of them are broken.
2 broken vacuums.
2 broken vacuums.
And then we have your
one's
one
a, like mop thing.
You have your one little handheld vacuum thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It works. I can use it. So count the win.
I feel like we
have dropped the ball in vacuuming.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think so, because we have friend dinner every week.
Do we vacuum every week before friend dinner?
I feel like I try to.
I don't think we do.
You don't think so?
I'm almost certain we don't. Lola came over one time and pointed to some food that Lukey had pushed off his plate or something, and she's like, "Oh, that's still there." I'm like, "Holy crap, Lola."
I don't think our criticisms count.
Yeah, but I mean, it pointed out that like clearly we're not doing an every week thing.
Okay, fine.
Consistently, anyway.
All right, fair.
So we need to vacuum. So, well, I think we gotta bust this back out. We need to work on the dishes. We need to work on the dishes, and we need to work on vacuuming.
Okay.
Just for hygienic.
For hygienics.
Yeah.
These 2 are going to be my next 2 favorite categories. I'm going to lump them into the same thing that we talk about. Okay. It's ties, occupational therapy, and driving.
Ah.
Do you remember what you said about driving, like your boundaries around driving?
No.
Because we knew that I was going to have to take you to appointments. Sort of.
No, I don't remember at all.
Okay, so we'll go with what I said. I said, willing to assist if no schedule conflicts and can accommodate it in times of need. I feel like I've stuck to that pretty well.
Yeah.
Are you ready for what you said?
No.
Yeah. Driving assistant is preferred, but should not become the norm or required of Shelby to encourage future driving capability.
So, basically, twist my arm to get my own vehicle, which I'm in the process of it now.
Right.
So, yeah, that's still working.
But should not become the norm. It is definitely the norm. We see Shelby without Ty, but we don't see Ty without Shelby.
What?
If you can't go anywhere, I can't go anywhere.
That's true.
If I can't go anywhere, you can't go anywhere.
Right. That's true. That's true. It shouldn't become the norm. Now, do you remember when I was taking all the MedStar routes and you would be like, "Oh, we don't talk about what happened in your PT anymore. We don't talk about what happened at OT anymore."
I was so sad.
Yeah.
When you got your MedStar rides.
I was fine with it.
Wow. I felt so disconnected. You're posting stuff about your OT, and I'm like, I didn't know you could lift a Dixie cup. That's cool.
Yeah, I know. I can kind of do stuff now.
You can grip things.
Grippy.
All right, so Ty's occupational therapy. I said that I would hold you accountable to doing 2 to 3 chores per week. And I would be willing to assist and give grace when needed. Okay, I'm so kind. I heard that.
You are kind.
Thanks.
Do I do 2 to 4 chores per week? No?
Not 2 to 3, no. Maybe 1. Maybe 1 to 2.
Yeah.
So I guess 2.
Help. I'll make dinner sometimes, and on average, no, but I'll make dinner sometimes. I'll do. I did. I was doing better when my hand was better, but
that's true. Yeah.
Because I'm doing all the medication stuff, it's been messing with my head. But
yeah, no.
But we'll get there.
Again,
I can start doing dishes.
Willing to give grace when needed.
Yeah.
See, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And then you said you would do 2 to 3 chores per week.
There you go.
Should be doing independently or in some capacity with help.
There you go.
Is what you said. So yeah.
Laundry.
Oh.
Where are we at now?
Oh, we said how often we were going to do laundry, and I said 1 load a day or weekly, and you said weekly. Did you expect to do your own laundry?
I was kind of, yeah. But I stopped because of how much laundry is always in the laundry room. And so I was like, I ain't going to mess with whatever system you've got going on in there.
It's a disaster.
So, yeah. So if like, I just throw it out like, Shelby, can you throw my laundry in there? Right? And then you prioritize me, which is nice because I get my laundry done. But then I think you get some more balls rolling. Because, if I could take the camera into the laundry room right now.
Please don't.
What would they see, Shelby? Please tell them.
It's lots of clothes
everywhere.
There's
like 3 baskets of clothes just kind of stacked in there.
There's 1 basket that's dirty clothes. All the rest of them are technically clean clothes that I just haven't folded yet.
Oh, well, see, I didn't know that. I can't tell the difference. I don't know which is which.
That's fair.
There's no little sticker on it that's like clean, dirty.
I could start labeling things.
You absolutely don't have to. No, there's no reason to. I'm just saying, like, that's why I haven't done my own laundry because when I go in there, sometimes there's stuff in the washer or there's stuff in the dryer, and I'm just like, these are Shelby's clothes, and I don't know, like, do you want me throw them in a basket? What do you want me to do in the basket? Which pile do I put them in? Is this the dirty clothes hamper basket pile, or is this the clean clothes basket pile? Like, which one is this? Which one's the right pile of baskets? Basket tower. So I just have you do it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I thought.
Does that make more sense now?
It does now, yeah. I thought it was because of my expert t-shirt folding skills.
Your t-shirt folding skills are bomb, though. I like that. I really like it. Again, if I'd roll back into my closet right now. And you know what? No, we'll save that for another show and tell.
Focus.
We'll save that for a show and tell.
Yeah, that was. Ooh, grocery. I'm gonna say what you said first.
Okay.
You said eventually you're gonna do some of this independently, but is open to any form and needs to eat more veggies.
Yeah. I think we nailed that.
Yeah, I would agree.
And if once I get a vehicle and I can transport myself, that can still be the thing. I can still follow that.
Yeah, I think so. You ready for mine? I said once a week online, and then prefers to meal plan at least 4 suppers a week. Because that's what I was doing when I was living by myself.
When I badger you constantly about putting together a meal plan,
whoa.
Who'd you put in charge of the meal plans now?
You.
Me.
Yeah.
You put me in charge of the meal plans. You know what else you put me in charge of? Ordering the groceries.
Yeah.
And getting those all picked out.
Yeah, because I do.
You know what you put me in charge of?
What? Nothing, because I do everything else.
You pick them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can drive. I can't drive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Currently.
Yeah.
I'm going to just give you the whole grocery. Once you start driving, I'm just out.
So you'll do all the meal planning and I'll just do all the groceries?
No, you're going to take over all of it. The meal planning, the grocery shopping, all of it.
As far as meal planning is concerned, though, we are eating more veggies.
We are.
Yeah.
We're eating, I would say like 80% vegetarian.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's a pretty good deal. It's working pretty good.
So we definitely upped our veggies. So we have a section called kids. And
I don't have any kids.
That's
just FYI.
That's literally what you put. Doesn't have kids.
Not my children, not my problem.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah.
Not my problem.
But you make it your problem.
I have to listen to it though.
Okay, so what's funny about my version of the TNC?
Okay, yep.
This must have been some kind of inside joke within our phone call, because I said any sugar rushes Ty causes, he will also be living with these kids and will need to be creative in killing off that energy. That was the only terms and conditions I had with my kids.
Yeah. I think I made the joke of how it's probably because of how I treat my nephews and niece.
Mm-hmm.
Give them candy and then be like, all right, Mom, Dad, there you go. Back to Dad, Mom and Dad.
But back to Mom, they live here.
I know.
You're stuck with them.
Yeah.
If you could,
so when they pop and squeal, I gotta listen to it.
Yeah.
Huh. No, thank you.
So after that section, is there anything that you would change about the TNC? Anything you would add?
Oh, you waited till the kids section?
I purposely did that.
To do that? Shelby is the one that makes the rules, not me. Stop making me into the bad guy.
It's your house, too.
Yeah. But I shouldn't be the authority figure. I'm older than you, but, like, I'm not your boss.
This is true.
Yeah.
Mom's the boss.
Yeah.
That's what Luke said. Luke said that the other day.
Yeah.
Like, I think we were at the cleaning job that I was at, and he's like, Mom's the boss. And I'm like, that's right.
There you go.
That's it. That's it.
That's going to be a good thing to run with for you.
What do you mean?
Yeah, if he says you're the boss, then you can always be like, Mom's the boss. Like, you gotta listen to Mom. I don't want to go to bed. I said no.
Mom's the boss.
I said no.
I don't care.
Oh, harsh.
Mom's the boss.
No.
I think we're doing better. Like, there's been a full progression, kid-wise.
Well, I mean, then we had the blue means bath and the
red means bed.
Red means bed and
we got all sorts of structures.
Huh.
Those were like trial by fire structures too.
Yeah, and then your timer for, other than like having to sneak in and sneak out of your kids, like you'd put Luke to sleep, and then you'd like wait until he fell asleep, and then you'd sneak out, and if you woke up at any point, you knew he was gonna start crying. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now I set a timer for, okay, we're gonna read a story, we're gonna lay down, I'll stay in here for 2 minutes, and then I'll leave.
You've created a schedule.
Yeah.
A consistent,
a predictable schedule.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Structure.
Ooh, guests. We can probably lump these two. Guest and out of house parties / events.
Oh yeah.
We had, just glancing over these, we had
the after party thing. I remember because there's that fear of missing out that even I have, and I know you have. Mm-hmm. And when my body decides to give me a big old kick in the knackers, I feel bad.
Yeah.
That it's the party's just starting or things are just getting going. It's like 8 or 9. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, all right, let's go. Yeah. Like even last night.
Yeah.
Even last night when we were out to eat, I was sitting there and I was like, I want to stay and sit and talk to the Bosco Johns more, but I'm like, yep, I'm ready to get out of this chair. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I have to be that, so I have to play that flag.
I remember when you first moved in, you set the hard boundary line of people have to leave by 7:30.
I do remember that.
I remember friend dinner was like 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Well, it's because we wanted to avoid the old like Midwest goodbye.
It didn't.
No,
it didn't help.
Well, when it's, I mean,
it did help. I would say probably the first couple weeks, first few weeks.
Pretty good for first, yeah. But you know as well as I do, somebody likes to hang out and do the South Dakota goodbye. Yeah, he's just as bad as not just me.
Oh, I know.
I don't want to name names. If he watches this, he knows who he is. I mean, I appreciate it. I'm happy to sit and talk to him.
It's just funny now that they stay.
But the thing is it's more of like trying to get folks to come to the friend dinner, right? Because if they come to the friend dinner, they're like, oh yeah, I have to plan my entire evening to hang out. Like, when am I going to leave? I don't know. I'll just leave when
somebody else leaves.
When somebody, yeah. So then if we say, all right, 5 to 7:30, then leave at 7:30. Like, no judgment, no hate, no anger. Like, this is it. You can go, and you can plan to put your kids to bed or do whatever it is that you want to do. Mm-hmm. I think that was we had a pretty good there's a pretty good structure there, and we still adhere to it. If people pop in and then want to leave,
That's true.
Like, leave.
Yeah.
It's 7:30. Go.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like don't feel obligated to stay.
Yeah. I just remember you had the specific boundary of like people need to leave at 7:30 because like I'm going to bed.
Yeah, my nerves would kick in, and they still kind of do. Mm-hmm. So, but working on those pills.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I just said that we could have girls or guys nights like at the apartment on days that I didn't have the kids. Is what I said for the guests. And now we have friend dinner.
Yeah, we have friend dinner every Monday.
Yep. And
you're welcome. That was my idea.
I hopped on that idea so fast, though.
Yeah.
Friend dinner is my favorite.
It's about bringing people together. Community.
And you said open, but may retreat due to physical limits. Usually just needs to lay down or just retreat to my room.
Yep.
That sounds right.
And that was kind of admitting to a degree, again, that How to Be Sick book, wherever I have that, if it's over there. How to Be Sick.
I actually think I have it because you told me to read it.
Yeah, and the author of that, she talks about how she used to be they used to do like things at their house, community things at their house. Mm. And then she had to just go lay in bed because her body couldn't handle it. And she's like, I miss out, but I have to be okay with that and find acceptance. So that's pretty much what I was trying to do there.
Nice. Then for the out-of-house parties or events, you said physically may reach your limits and at random and inconsistent times will want to disappear or go home because of it.
Yeah.
And then I said, has a case of FOMO. This will be something I'm willing to work on to help assist if wanted. This might be a TNC that becomes adjusted with experience.
But often, I mean, for a large part of it, we haven't had to leave that early.
No, I don't think so.
You know, and it's usually because I grit my teeth and bear it, and I can usually get through it. But then once we get home, you can sense my energy is just shut down, and I'm crabby.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just leave me alone. I'm going to go through my routine, and I'll be in bed.
Yep.
So
I remember that kind of happened at Kibby's wedding for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, when I was...
like at the wedding, not...
Yeah. When we were at the ceremony or the reception. And because something was up. Yep. And then we left, and I did some things. I don't know. Should I talk about that kind of stuff on this too? I guess people know I'm paralyzed, right?
Yeah, so might as well.
Yeah. Well, I had to check the bowels and the bladder and everything, and then I spent like an hour and a half to 2 hours trying to figure that out, and then I was like, screw it, let's go back, and we went back. So you know, we did something.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's important to bring up in a sense of like sometimes you have to retreat, figure out what's going on, and then you can go back. Like there's no saying that you can't go back to something. So I think that would be like if somebody who's in your position is like, well, I'm always having to leave these things early, or like this is always happening or whatever, but just know like it's okay to leave for a little bit and then come back. Like nobody judged you for it. Like all your friends were super cool and super chill, and like there wasn't any...
No, I mean, and a lot of them are cool and chill with it, and I warn people now.
That's true.
That it's, you know, it's pretty obvious, and with all the nerve stuff that happens with the twitches and the feelings, the burns and all that stuff, I'm just, it's tough for me. Like I just pre-explain it, because if I just pre-explain everything, then people have a lot more patience rather than just waiting, and then later being like, oh God, I gotta go, and then why, you know, be like, you know, and the thing is I don't like doing it because I feel like I'm playing the pity card. Like, hey, feel sorry for me, I might just randomly hurt and have to go home.
You don't sound like that.
I know I don't sound like that, but that's what it feels like I'm doing.
Okay.
But it like the thing is like, but I'm not doing that. I'm doing it in like all right, hey, let's just be real here. This could happen to me, and it's a boundary, right? I don't want to lose my patience. I don't want to be a crab ass. I just want to go, I'll just go home and just reset. It is what it is. And I'm finding some balance with that as time goes on.
Yeah.
So
I would agree. The next one is general cleaning, like corners, fans, dusting, etc. You said twice or once a month, so there's no corner buildup. And I said arrow works for me.
I don't think I've done heavy cleaning.
I don't think I have either. Maybe
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So we just haven't done it.
No.
We didn't have any like level of accountability though. Like we didn't.
We haven't looked at this literally since the day you moved in.
I mean, we haven't had any accountability, but we didn't have any like rewards or punishments. We didn't have any like follow through or any reason to follow through. Like as long as you were cool with it and I was cool with it, then we were cool with it.
I guess we did say when we made this TNC that it was something that we would fall back on if there was an issue that arose. And luckily, there hasn't been any issues.
No, it's been pretty good.
Yeah. But I think talking about this, having this conversation, because we talked about things like this on this phone conversation, to be able to get each other's perspectives on expectations.
Which is huge.
Yeah. And I think like if somebody's like watching this episode specifically, I think what would be helpful is to look at it in, I had words and then I lost my words. Like if you're becoming roommates with somebody or you just became roommates with somebody, I think it's a good idea to have that conversation of what are your expectations?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, that could really go into any...
Having that awkward convo right up front.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Setting the terms and conditions, the boundaries. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was huge.
Yep. And then we have 3 more. That's it. We got appliance use. We both said use whatever, just clean or forewarn me of use.
Oh yeah. So if we like sharing appliances.
Yeah. Yep.
And how did cleaning my air fryer go?
I broke it.
You were the one that was using it like 90% of the time, and then you just never cleaned it. And then when we cleaned it, I was like, "We're gonna do a deep clean."
So it was your idea.
It was my idea to deep clean it, and then we fried it and bought a new one. Which has a new one been cleaned?
No, but you put tin foil at the bottom, so we could probably clean it a heck of a lot easier.
Yeah, well, I mean that's part of it, but. There's still other parts of it that need to be cleaned, it's not just...
Like the racks and stuff have been cleaned, but not like the interior.
Yeah. We should probably clean it.
You put that on the to-do list?
Yeah, I will.
Do you remember? We had like a whole to-do list and a reminders list.
Yeah, we had on the phone, on the reminders app on Apple, and then we had Notion.
We had a whole bunch of shared things.
Yeah, we had a whole bunch of shared.
I think a whole nother episode could be our shared calendar and how we balance schedules.
Yeah, we could. We could just do shared things.
Yeah.
Whole episode on that.
There we go. All right. Fridge. Oh, this one I said something I need to work on, but would like accountability to weekly clean out. I did say I would like accountability, so.
Oh, then I'll hold you accountable. Game on.
Oh, no.
There's still red lentils in there. That's like 3 weeks old.
That's at 3?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah. That's 3-week-old red lentils.
One thing I did notice is that anything on the top shelf, you have better, viewing of, because the height at which you're at. I'm more... But when I stand and look... What?
They bend. Excuses, Shelby. Excuses.
I'm just saying.
Don't be trying to pull that. Oh, you just happen to have better view.
You do. You have a better view of the
I
entire
can't stand
fridge.
up and double check the pantry, can I?
Or the freezer.
Yeah, you're asking crouch down. Yeah. Yeah.
This is where your accountability comes
Accountability. You're welcome. All right. Yeah, I'll badger the crap out of you.
Oh, my gosh.
Accountability cranked up.
Oh, man.
Let's call it a 10 and 10.
Okay.
You shouldn't have busted out the TNC.
No.
You were so excited. I'm so excited to talk about it. Let's do a podcast on it.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Kitchen. Oh, no. This is another one there.
What's this one?
I said that I'm trying to implement, quote unquote, closing the kitchen.
You're trying to do it?
My bad. I said that I was trying to implement, quote unquote, closing the kitchen routine as like acting as if my kitchen's a part of like a restaurant kitchen.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And it needs to be quote unquote ready for the next morning. And I said I did defend myself here. I said I'm not perfect at this, but notice that my mornings are better when I do this the night before.
Mm-hmm.
But you just said agreed.
Yep. I mean, because I like the same thing. If the kitchen's all cleaned up. But, I mean, when I was living with a roommate, I was the only one who did the dishes and made dishes. Mm-hmm. When I was living by myself, I was the only one that made the dishes, did the dishes. Mm-hmm. When I was married and living with her, I mean, it was a back and forth. Mm-hmm. But I often feel like I did the dishes and kept there. I guess, I don't know. I don't want to say that, but I feel like I did the dishes, took care of the dishes, like we had a good teamwork thing, I guess. Mm-hmm. So, you know, when you were like, do a shutdown thing, I was like, perfect, that's fine. I'm cool with that. Because you were the one that was all concerned about dishes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Do the dishes, Shelby. I can see them right now. Look at the pile.
I know, it's ridiculous. It's bad.
You have a bag of bags full of dishes there.
Those are clean dishes.
Oh.
That's different.
Okay. All right, whatever.
No, but the lack of teamwork that I had in my marriage, and it was a constantly Shelby do the dishes, but then there was no teamwork. So like that's where the like constant like trigger, for lack of a better word.
Go on.
You just therapize me over here while we're at it.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. But it was always like my responsibility to do the dishes, and not living with significant others, I was just living with myself. So then of course it was my responsibility to do the dishes. So then I would beat up myself for not doing the dishes. Like in the internal monologue would be like, Jesus, Shelby, do the dishes.
Do you still beat yourself up for not doing the dishes?
Yep. So then we're talking about it.
I mean, we learned some stuff though, like not learned some stuff. I feel like you picked up on some of my weird quirks of doing dishes.
Ooh, yeah, like the knives.
Yeah.
Like I cleaned my knives right away.
Clean the knives right away and put them away right away.
Yeah.
I usually clean them.
And then I noticed when Nate didn't do that, he put them right in the sink, and I was so mad.
Yeah. Because then your knives get rusty and nasty, or when you need a knife, you're like, where the fuck are my knives?
That was the moment I had, is I needed a knife and it wasn't clean, and I was pissed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah. It's super awesome. And you clean up as you go.
Although I do say, you mentioned that you needed one side of the sink always cleared out so you could fill your water bottle and stuff. Even though I do that 90% of the time.
Not 90. Come on, not anymore. 50 at least. 50 to 70%. Depending on the day.
85%.
All right. Fair.
You give me shit about dishes. I'm going to give you shit
because there's usually dishes in the way, and that's why I can't get it myself.
No, that's what I was getting at.
I mean, you say that side of the sink is always open now? Is it?
80% of the time.
No, I don't think it's 80% of the time.
I think
I would say 20% of the time, and that's the time I fill my own water.
Maybe it's me subconsciously be like, I don't have the capacity to fill your water bottle right now, but I have the capacity to move these 3 plates over to this side of the sink.
Yeah, that could be. But then if you move the 3 plates, you might as well do the rest of them. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. That was the TNC. How do you think we did on a scale of 1 to 10? How well do you think we
how well have we stuck to it?
Yeah.
Like 5.
At best.
Yeah. 6, 5 or 6. You know, there's some things we've stuck to, or at least modified from there.
That's yeah. I would say a lot of it has been like learning as we go. But like I said before, I think the biggest like takeaway from having the TNC is just having that original conversation, so that we could
just break that awkward ice right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else we got?
Balancing our schedules. I feel like that could be a whole separate podcast on its own.
Let's do separate. What about lessons learned here, or any share advice for our listeners and watchers?
You go first.
No. Well, I think what I just said was a good one. If this is a situation where you're looking to move in with somebody who is in a handicapped status, or even just looking to move in with somebody who you don't really know, attacking that awkward conversation on core things like kitchen stuff, potentially bathroom stuff, but we had separate bathrooms, so we didn't really have to worry about that.
Ooh, that would be a whole thing if we had to share a bathroom.
Yeah. Laundry stuff, cleaning, things like that are just general, like you forget about them, but they're house chores when you were a kid. And having those conversations with the person you're going to move in, at least bringing it up awkwardly right away. I mean, we, like you said, we had a super long conversation about it because we went down all these rabbit holes of like, oh, why? Oh, because of? And oh, what's the, what are we going to do? What can we do? How can we approach that? How can we find some sort of, balance, compromise between our perspectives? And by and large, our perspectives weren't that different. So I think just having that, I think the biggest advice I feel should be to have the conversation right away. Yeah.
I agree. I think we're talking heavily about having this conversation right away, but even if somebody who's watching this and is in a roommate situation and has been for 3 to 6 months, I still feel like having a conversation, be like, I don't care, bring up our episode and be like, hey, I was watching this thing about these roommates and they have this whole like terms and conditions, like make it silly, who cares? But be like, do you think we should do this? And then you can have that conversation. And I mean, maybe you could point out things that you don't like that they're doing.
Yeah.
Or
do you think we should do this? No.
Don't
ask yes or no questions.
That's right. Mookie. Oh my goodness. You're right. We should do this. Nice. That was good.
That was good.
Get out of my head.
No.
I was trying to think of other lessons learned. I think I'm not necessarily a lesson learned for me, but like something that could be taken away from this is the giving grace to each other. Like, I mean, we give each other shit about things all the time, and it's playful and it's whatever. It's like nothing either of us take super seriously.
Sorry.
I told you can't be yawning on camera.
Dude, I told you I'm going to start yawning. I'm getting tired. I have nerves. I have nerve pains.
Am I supposed to feel bad for you now? Like, oh, pity Ty, I have nerve pains.
Let's be done.
Just wrap up.
Yeah, wrap up. What else we got to add?
Ooh, what our next episode is going to be.
What is our next episode going to be?
The balancing schedules.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, then next episode we'll talk about balancing schedules.
Balancing schedules and how we've worked together in...
Balancing schedules.
Oh, yeah.
We talk about schedules specifically, or are we going to talk about all shared things?
I was going to say all shared things. Probably the bulk of it is going to be schedules because kind of a teaser into the episode, like we're not only balancing my school schedule, we're balancing your PTOT schedules, but then also my kids' schedules, if them with their dad, them not with their dad, daycare closing. Like, what do we do in all these situations? And that's been a whole thing to navigate.
That's actually going to be a big one for you because you carry the brunt of a lot of that.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I don't really do much.
No, which is why I give you the meal planning.
But yeah, that's fair. That is fair, and that's why I usually help you with it.
I know.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thanks.
Teamwork.
Makes the dream work, yo.
Yeah. So, well, I hope this has been another fun thing to listen to. We've got some advice. We're trying to give some advice, trying to be helpful with it. Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, I
agree.
All
good? Alrighty. WheelLife605.
Roommate realities.
Oh, yeah.
WheelLife605's Roommate Realities.
Are you crying?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm like pulling your leg like, Shelby, we're going to record a podcast together. All right? No complaining. Do it.
Not even a little bit. This is totally been my idea this entire time.
Yeah.
And then the and then the camera's on me, and the light's in front of me, and then there's a microphone, and I have headphones.
Are you done crying?
No, probably not. Damn. I was all like mentally prepared. I was like, no, this won't be stressful. I've already done it once.